Pledge, and in your reflection, please keep in mind the family of John Dahl, his passing, a longtime county attorney and friend, and also the family of Rakita in our commissioner's office. Thank you. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
First District, David Ham.
Here.
Second District, Claude. Third District, Charlie Brown. Fourth District, Pete Lindemulder.
Present.
Fifth District, Christine Sid.
Here.
Sixth District, Ted Bilski.
Here.
Seventh District, Randy Niemeyer.
Present. Madam Chair, you might want to check with George or Scott. I think Glorious, they were trying to get him online, so I can't see but Councilman Lay was,
I don't think he is available.
all right. Madam Chair, make a motion to approve the minutes of July 11th, 2023.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-2 absent.
Mr. Chair, if you would, Madam Chair, I have a few resolutions. Make a motion to approve resolution 2333. This is a resolution acknowledging June 4th, 2023 as National Cancer Survivor Day. I so move.
Second.
Motion's been made and second. Any discussion or comments? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-2 absent. Next one?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 2346. This is a resolution proclaiming September as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. I so move.
Is there a second?
That's it.
Yeah.
The first one wasn't on the agenda for some reason.
Yeah, second, if you didn't have one.
Motion's been made and second. Any comments? All in favor signify by aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Madam Chair, only two more to go. We have resolution number 2347. This is a resolution in support of September as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Make a motion to approve this resolution.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Just it's scary statistics for men in this room that 1 out of every 5 men, 1 out of 5. So just look around you. That's pretty high, right? Pretty scary stuff. Get checked.
tested.
Get checked.
Thank you. All in favor signify aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-2 absent.
And the last one, probably one of the most disheartening ones, is a resolution number 2348. This resolution is proclaiming September as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. I so move.
Second.
Motion's been made and second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-2 absent. Thank you. Any acknowledgements? Okay. St. John, before we move on, I'd like to make a motion that we add I've asked the treasurer and the auditor to come forward to answer some questions regarding how the council moves forward with their budgets due to some financial issues. So if I could, I'd like to make that motion to bring that forward.
It's not really a motion.
It's
We're
not a-
just asking to be added to the agenda.
That's right.
It'd be better if a non.
I'd make a motion to amend the agenda to allow for the discussion and consideration.
I second the motion to add the treasurer and auditor to the agenda.
Thank you. Motion made and seconded.
Aye.
Discussion. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 5-2 absent.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
if you would, if you could bring it up, we have, like, you've been saying, a little and a half of staff here. We want to get it back into the office.
I was going to make a motion, ask if we can bring it to the front of the agenda since we have elected officials down here and
Absolutely.
half their staff. It'd be nice to get them back to work. We're Mark's here as well.
We need a motion for that?
No.
No, just need,
Clerk
just-
right now. so-
yeah, that's so did I. So, yeah, so, at this time, I ask that the treasurer, the auditor, I don't know who wants to come forward first. I've sent you a list of questions and perhaps you'd just like to give your response to those.
It's, well, Peggy's still in rehab, so, you know, so she's not here, but
Yes,
nothing is here for her. The first two questions, I think, came off of the letter that was sent to you by the auditor. The only thing I can say is the inference is that the two units balance, but they don't. So I don't know how you got that, you know, it was written in the auditor's letter, I don't know. And I don't have the letters with me, I don't know.
well, I have the letter with me. Every council person does have the letter with them.
I was trying to remember the questions.
Right, the one question was, the auditor claims to balance daily. How do they balance daily when they admit accurate records aren't available? That was one of the questions. There was a previous letter that where the auditor, made claim that they do balance daily.
First sentence.
I mean, I can't talk for what Kathy wrote, but
Well, Kathy's here, maybe she can speak for herself.
Balance,
Okay,
okay? Unless she meant that we're supposed to balance daily, and maybe that's where the confusion got it.
okay.
But
Can you give,
for
can you give,
for question 1 and 2, there is no balance yet, which is the whole issue.
Okay.
On this
Question-
on this letter that I have here, it does say, in response to your letter dated July 31, 2023, the Auditor's Department and the Treasurer's Department balance receipts daily.
Okay, that came from the auditor. There were 2 letters.
Okay.
One that came from me as treasurer and one that came from the auditor. So I don't know, Kathy, do you want to address that?
Outside of the system, the treasurer and the auditors and all place balance daily, the disbursement of daily, both the monthly balance in Form 61 is waiting. We didn't necessarily first have all the reports that we needed. As far as I understand, now we have the reports, we have to go ahead and extract data to verify correctness, and because some of these computers
Excuse me one second.
do not.
People that are online can't hear you.
all right,
If you
need to
could-
use a mic.
Hello.
Thanks, Scott.
The reference on that letter is the fact that the receipts and the disbursements are balanced daily outside of the Oracle system. Those things, they make sure they're balanced. But when it comes to that Form 61 and the balancing of the monthly balancing, there were certain reports we needed. There's variances in those reports. And as far as I know, the data's in the system. Now we have the reports, so it's going to be a matter of extracting data. And I'm sure that Scott has a plan also that's been put in place to try to, it's been an ongoing work and process to get what's needed. I hope that explains things.
I think she's trying to tell you the money's all there.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically it's a data issue as far as the balancing is concerned. The third question you have, it said for an employee in the treasurer's office, I didn't know who that was, but I found out. And I brought her with me so she can explain what she meant by the remark that's here. Ashley?
Yeah, what I meant was, it's not that the auditor's office wasn't putting in information, it's the conversion from Lawson. Some of that information didn't get put into Oracle Cash Management. So I'm unable to balance our bank statements. I'm not unable to balance with the auditor per se monthly. I can't reconcile my banks because some of the information from Lawson didn't get put in correctly.
And who entered that information?
Payroll information.
Pardon?
Payroll information was not put in.
So does that payroll information come directly from the auditor?
No, I mean, the auditor is responsible for payroll, but it's handled downstairs.
It's done through data processing, handles payroll for the auditors. Data processing handles payroll, yeah.
But doesn't each department enter their own payroll into the system?
Into the Oracle.
Okay, yes, they do.
There was some snafus with the Oracle payroll system, like the very first paycheck of the year.
Right, I recall.
And after that, it was installed, so.
Madam Chair, I hope that some of this meeting will conclude. I mean, I don't want to make this or make it feel like a witch hunt. We're just trying to figure out what went wrong, how do we fix it, how do we keep from this ever happening again? But more importantly, Madam Chair, I'd like to find out if we can come to a consensus where we have everybody here. How do we solve the problem? How do we get this? Do we need to hire the forensic? I seen the email coming around. Do we need just to go ahead and today have open discussion about bringing in a forensic accountant firm and get this done, and let's move forward. The budget's right around the corner. We do not have any time. This isn't the Rolling Stones song. Time is not on our side, man. We got to get this thing done and we have no time to do it. So,
Answer to your question, first of all, I was educated yesterday, it's not a forensic accountant.
oh,
It's just an accounting firm that specializes in this type of work.
in the emails I was part of, they
Yeah.
referred to forensic.
So my understanding is that there are, two individuals talking to, I believe, 3 firms, and Scott's gonna have to chime in. Scott, I know, has been busy on his own talking to Crow Chiswick. And I believe, Matt Fetch is talking to 2 other firms. And where they're at as far as when they're gonna put in a proposal, that really, is up to Matt or Scott to answer, I don't know.
Yeah,
We're
the
not
thing-
part of that.
The thing that concerns me is why we waited so long to bring someone else in. I mean, I saw emails where AJ was, I hate to call people out, but AJ was requesting that they bring somebody in.
In
That he felt
2021.
that he was not prepared to do the conversion. And I don't understand why at that time we didn't take action instead of waiting till now when it is budget crisis time now. And even if someone comes in, how long is it gonna take them to get this resolved?
Well, Mark, you want to answer that, or you want me to answer it?
If you get Mike.
You want me to try?
Why don't you try?
Here's, when AJ put in that request, he put it in, I believe it was in November of 21, am I correct? We didn't roll until July of 22. So data processing didn't see the wisdom in hiring an accountant 7 months before we even rolled over. And that was predicated on the fact that when we rolled over from the legacy system to the Lawson system 25 years ago, we had no issues. It was all done in-house. And that's what data processing is hoping to do, was to be able to do this rollover in-house. Unfortunately, Oracle hired a vendor. They sold us a $5 million piece of software. And then, and by the way, that wasn't my idea. I don't even know where that idea came from. We just got a phone call one day that says, guess what? You're getting a new piece of software. Oracle hired an outside vendor, I believe called HTC. Is that correct? And they were the people responsible for doing the inputting after the rollover. They had issues because they're not acclimated towards doing anything with government agencies. Oracle is a big firm that does airlines and big corporations. And I know that Glenn in my office, who's a CPA, is Glenn. He had several conversations with them, and they had a difficult time understanding what they had to do and the difference between government accounting and world accounting, everyday world accounting. But needless to say, that's the information is there. It's inside the computer. It's inside the software. It's just a matter of trying to find it so we can extract these forms. Now, the girls have been trying to do the forms, and the type of information they're getting is they'll get an error signal, or they'll get no forms at all, or they'll get a form like one we got. I don't know when we got it, but we have copies of it, where we have a $2.7 million expenditure to the town of Munster that was listed 8 times, which is part of the reason why there's that variance. And there's obviously other stuff like that in there that everybody's trying to decipher right now, while Scott and Matt are still trying to bring somebody in so we can get it done a lot quicker for budget purposes.
Was there an attempt to retrieve those forms prior to going live?
Well, no, but you couldn't retrieve the forms until you went online. You had to go online.
So you went online when, in July of 2022?
I don't know the exact date. It was sometime in July.
July 22.
So we've been working on this issue since July of 22 and haven't found a solution since then.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, in retrospect, considering how complicated the software is, July 22 to the present date is really, what, not even a month. And so it's not that out of norm that we should still be working on this, but we're
A
just
year ago.
running into the
No,
deadline.
it's not 2022, 7/22 of 23.
Of 23. We rolled over July of 23. Today is August the 8th. So we've only.
No, that's not, we didn't just go live this year. It
We
was
went
last,
live this year.
no,
July 22nd.
I'm sorry.
yeah, July 22. Yeah, it's a year ago.
Payroll July of 23.
Okay, does anyone from the auditor, yeah, does anyone from the the auditor's office wish to speak? I don't want to cut you off, Tom, but anyone have any questions for
I
John?
guess my question would be, bringing in an accountant, is this an accounting issue or is this more of like a data issue? Is an accountant going to go in and even be able to do it because they have a financial expertise, but it's more of a data programming issue? What's an accountant going to do that's different than what we can do ourselves?
You talk to these people. Why don't you answer that? I don't know.
Let Mark is answer. Go ahead. So you know.
Yeah, first of all, a little bit of history here. This is exactly what happened 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when we brought Lawson in. This is nothing new. This happens when you do a conversion this size in any system. Okay, not an excuse, just history. All right. We rolled over the finance side in the first week of July 22. We went live with payroll the beginning of this year. Okay. So one of the main issues is once we roll over and we started trying to balance this this data as we went through the year, this past year, is we needed some specific reports that were not part of the original system that we purchased. So we contracted to have these specialty reports put together. That's the issue, is these reports that have now been refined. As a matter of fact, there's a meeting this afternoon with the auditor's office to go through the reports that have been designed to pull the data out of the database so that they can start their monthly balancing. All right. It's there, nothing's missing. It's just a matter of getting the data out and then continuing to move forward in balancing the issue. Part of the issue was what was brought up was in the reconciliation. We've identified what that is. We have people working on it in the auditor's office and on my staff downstairs. So is this an issue? Of course it's an issue. It's a big issue. It's always a big issue. Is it unsurmountable? No, it is not. It's going to be fixed. It's going to be straightened out. I know Scott's name keeps getting dropped in here, but he's been working with these people, trying to identify who we can work with. I had meetings with Scott a couple of times last week to go over specifics over what we need. I'm confident this works out. It should have never gotten to this point. That's where it is. There's issues that have been put to rest. We're moving forward, and you're going to be, I believe, you're going to be fine. But I'm not speaking for Scott.
I don't think you answered
Yeah.
the councilman's question.
Could you
So
repeat it?
is this do we need to bring a CPA firm in because there's financial issues, or do we need to bring a consultant in that actually because there's a data issue? I mean, like, so bringing in a Prochisic, right, what are they going to do that's different than anybody else in these departments can do?
I'm not an accountant. I'm not really sure of that.
To do with the way the data was entered, so that's why we need an accountant to
I don't believe so.
fix the numbers and enter things correctly and.
Can we ask AJ his opinion and then Scott?
Yeah, he's talking agents.
So the data is in the from Lawson. That's everything is correct. We balance the funds. The funds are all right to the mark. So that's not an issue with the data. So we are bringing any outside firm to investigate and see how the system should work for the county. Because Lawson was suitable for the county before, this Oracle is not suitable for the county. We want outside firm to investigate and find out how these different system of accounting works for the county. How can we handle it? And we want outside firm for that.
AJ, you're saying that we're balanced and we're not balanced in the system. Otherwise, I'm going to just say it. The State Board of Accounts was not able to get the information that they needed to continue with our audit.
Because they couldn't get the reports out of the system that shows the right data. The data is there.
You're saying we're not balanced. We're tens of millions of dollars off balance.
Madam President, we
Yes.
have a CPA here. He could address that, why the councilman.
Yeah, whoever,
I think Scott was involved in some of these, why we need an accountant on this matter.
okay.
The reason why you bring a firm in like this, because they have,
You have the mic, okay.
I do. They have specialization in this. Accounting and IT are just about completely intertwined nowadays. All the larger firms, such as Crow, have the expertise to do this. They have both the accounting and finance expertise and the IT expertise. I'm fairly positive from earlier talks with them, they have Oracle specialists already available. But when this kind of work is done by CPA firms, and don't use the CPA firm as a misnomer. The reality is that is a collective of many types of professionals.
Okay, I just want to answer, because when you say do this, what is it? What kind of work do they need to come to the county and do?
Going to come and look at all the data, maybe extract all the data from the previous system and the current system, look at it, rebuild it, look for issues in terms of the reporting is failing. Why does it fail? Why is the data getting out in a timely manner? We believe the data is primarily there. And having said that, I would believe that this is not an unusual case. It's something that they handle, I'm not going to say completely routine, but normal course of business.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I have a
yeah.
couple of questions. I don't know whoever can answer it. First thing, we got to this situation, and if someone in this room can refresh my recollection, why we went to Oracle, why was this the best system that we picked, and who made that decision? I think John said, hey, we got a phone call one day and said, hey, the new software. I just heard my experts, the county government experts, tell me that this system is not designed to work and work well with county government. So I see Commissioner Repe, Mike, if you could add anything to this, we're just trying to, what do we need to do? And why is this the solution we want? It's too late now to pull, we can't just say, hey, let's stop and go back to the old system. And as Tom said, all of your folks' hard work, why would, and where are we going to be at the end of the day? And if this system isn't compatible, are we just going to perpetuate these problems each and every year from this point forward? If that's the case, do we need to scrap this whole thing and then start to figure out where we need to do and how we need to do it? Because it doesn't sound like this thing's working and we have the time to get it done. So we can't lose this budget, Mike, and be diverted back to 2023.
I only poked my head in because of something Councilman Bilski said when I was listening to WebEx, and he said, the horse is dead or something like that, which I think is, like, what do we do now, right?
Yeah,
you said, so, all right, maybe I paraphrase.
Let's not beat a dead horse.
Beat a dead horse, right. The horse is dead.
It's screwed up.
It is laying here. It is getting rigor mortis.
Right.
And so now, and we've known that because it's been getting rigor mortis since 22. The error was made in 22, right? So the error has been made. It's been brought to our attention. I'll throw Scott, not under the bus, but I'll throw a bone to him and say, I asked that Scott, Councilman Niemeyer, myself, Attorney O'Donnell, Scott were in the last meeting of State Board of Accounts. And we said, look, we need a solution. Whatever the problem was, we can find, and I will bet that the CPA firm that we engage with will go back in time and say, here's where you screwed up. You didn't do this, this, and this. And when that time comes, we'll provide a report to the council and say, this is it. And here's who's to blame. But until then,
we're gonna try and attempt as best we can to engage with one of these. At this point, we have 3 firms to get us to the promised land, to get us done, to get us converted cleanly so that we don't have a garbage in, garbage out situation, that we have good numbers in, good numbers out. There's some question whether there were good numbers to begin with. But again, we have professionals that can determine that. And
Do we know
hopefully I
what,
didn't say anything.
do we know what this firm's gonna cost us? Do we have?
We have no idea. We don't even, we're in the process right now of just exactly describing what we have, what we need them to do, what we expect of them, timelines, all the other.
Is this Oracle, in your opinion, Mike, the answer?
Oh, I don't know if the software system is, I mean, look, we could say state of Indiana, we could say government finance, we could say all those things are goofy. This is a strange system. I think, Dante would have said that. All the other financial people say, well, government accounting is just different. Is there a perfect accounting software for our system? I don't know. That's not my thing. I don't believe that it's the system. I believe it's the numbers that are going in or out of the system. My guess, but I mean, I'm not an accountant or an IT guy.
Well, let me clarify that. The reason that I asked the treasurer and the auditor, because we are a body of 7 and the law doesn't allow us to have a private meeting on this subject. So that everybody could hear the answers and ask the questions all at once is why I asked both the treasurer and the auditor, not to beat a dead horse, it's just to get the answers that people have been asking.
The only reason I said that is because I didn't know that it was on the top of the
Councilman
conversation.
Bickner, did you want
Nobody
the
asked me.
floor?
Sure. Thank you, Madam Chair, and thanks, Commissioner Repay. So in the State Board of Accounts meeting, where the audit was announced that it was being discontinued, creates several challenges, as I've spoken to Scott about, is we're starting this year's budget with no idea of where our cash balances are. And I've heard from numerous people over here today that it's everybody else's responsibility or fault, or it happened because of X, Y, or Z. And as Commissioner Repay just put, the house is on fire. We got to put out the fire. It's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars likely in an accounting firm. The accounting firm will likely take the rest of the year to get this done. In the meantime, we have a budget deadline of October 31st. So with that being said, we have a lot of requests that come in front of this council often for appropriations, reshaping departments, and a lot of it's based around accounting. And what I see is the data entry portion of accounting, whoever's responsibility it is being done extremely poorly and without accuracy. So I don't care whose fault it is. The bottom line is this is a body that serves the public. And right now we're going to put together a budget to serve the public with absolutely minimal information to do so. This is a really difficult process or a difficult situation that we've been put in, that we've got to tackle. I, for one, was pretty alarmed by the State Board of Accounts report, but not terribly surprised. I think sometimes organizations of this size, as fragmented as they can become, there's not a lot of cohesiveness when it comes to the duties of making sure that there's accuracy of information that's being shared. So, I had a question for Mark about, the treasurer Mr. Vitalis had said, it's a data issue. What does that mean as it relates to how this all gets populated? Who enters in these numbers? Because it's my understanding that each department has their own bookkeeping people, and yet we have no information. So where does it start? Where does it end?
First of all, data is not IT, what we're talking about. We're talking about physical data numbers that are entered in the system. Different people within the county have different responsibilities, whether it's a purchasing person or a payroll person or a finance person, okay? They've all been doing their job for a lot of years. We're asking them to change what they're doing and how they're doing it, which is going forward. That's why we honestly believe that the majority of the data that's sitting in the system right now that was brought over, the first 6 months that was brought over from Lawson, and the 6 months we have in there for the remainder of 22, which is Oracle, it's all mixed together. We believe it's essentially correct. Okay. The issue has been getting that information in a usable form, in usable reports, so that the auditor, the treasurer, and the State Board of Accounts can look at this and see exactly where they're at. All right, and then at that point, then we can start making determination over what might be missing, or what's maybe there twice, like we're showing on the report John pointed to. We got to get to that point. In this meeting the other day with the State Board, I told them and the people at the meeting that the reports are being handled through my office now, working directly with the consultants. We believe we have the reports correct at this point. They're going to be looked at today with my staff and the auditor staff to see if there's any issues with this. We'll keep moving forward. If there is, we'll get it straightened out. It's doable. It's just a matter of getting what we need to be able to provide to the users and to the state board what they need to see.
It's a U.S. Army veteran. I can't help it. It had to be my right.
I'm sorry. I appreciate your response, Mark. It seems like if we wouldn't have had this audit, we have just let this go. It's like nobody's taking the hold of it. It sounds to me like you're taking the hold of it to say, we're going to get this right. But it still doesn't negate the fact that we're starting this year's budget with wholly inaccurate cash balances. Everybody's going to be looking for increases of things that we don't know exist. This is the difficulty, and it seems like it's being, well, we're going to get this right. Great. That doesn't help right now, right? There was no urgency from 2022 at the implementation to now, when the State Board of Accounts said, hey, we quit the audit. The chief auditor even said that when the question was asked of her, do you think that the people entering in the information understand or have the ability to do it correctly? And she flat out said no. So we have a responsibility issue here too. At some point, we've got to grab a hold of this and say, this is my responsibility to do this, like the budget is our responsibility up here. I take that responsibility very seriously. And the reason that I am a little perturbed by this is because it doesn't seem like that responsibility of ours is taken very seriously in this process, because until now there was zero urgency. And I hope there's a lot of urgency now and accountability to go with it. And if you don't have the right people in place to enter in the information, then get the right people.
Madam Chairman, if I could, I have to comment real quick, and John, I'll yield to you in a minute, but I think a question of competency and leadership, and I'd like John to speak on that. I think we have the staff, we have the crew. I don't think that's really the issue. I don't want to go after if we need to bring additional training in for our staff because it's something new, that's one thing. But the easiest thing to do is to sit back and point fingers and say everybody in government is incompetent, everybody's corrupt, everybody's lazy, nobody's willing. And I just want to say, I think you got a lot of people in here put in a lot of hard work, and I thank you for that. And I know it's not easy, and this is all brand new to you. However, I do want to have John just kind of explain. The picture's painted like there's like with the state board and all this rhetoric that there's some kind of malfeasance going on, that there's money missing, and the state board is, well, wait till the newspapers get done with this too, and they paint this ugly picture.
Nobody's stating that.
Well, they paint an ugly picture. It's the assumption. I'm sitting here listening to the same meeting you are, and what I've heard is that our staff doesn't have the skill and ability to complete the task. I disagree with that, and I disagree with the fact that
then we're balanced. We should be balanced, right?
And we are.
Well,
we just have to produce those reports. We've been doing this accounting practice. They should be balanced. We can pass this. We can pass this budget. We just need to retrieve those reports and get it done. I think we can, and we'll go through this safely, but I don't think saying or assuming that the state board puts this out there, the first assumption, and it is an assumption, and no one's saying that we did something, but it is an assumption that there's some type of malfeasance. That's why they're not, they can't complete the audit. It's just common sense. Everybody feels that way when you hear it. When tomorrow morning after this newspaper article reads, trust me, you're going to have a bunch of people thinking that people are ripping money off.
Make sure you make it clear that it's Councilman Bilski who feels that way and not the rest of the council. No one is saying,
You can,
I
you
have
can
not
truly
said this.
admit that I have all the faith in the world in this.
all I want
in
is
this
valid budget so we can move forward with budgets. That's all I want.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
all I want to say, and I want to go on record, nobody is pointing the finger at anybody. The people sitting here for the last year busted their ass to try to understand the $5 million brand new software system that isn't even built for government. Now, you gotta understand, we've got a private vendor hired by Oracle to input this information, not these people. Okay?
And where's Oracle at? All this money they got, where they at?
Okay.
They didn't join us online? No, they got our check and they ran away.
Okay, I don't want to belabor the issue. Is there anybody else in the auditor? I think the questions have been answered for the most part. I'm not saying that they're satisfactory, but they have been answered for the most part. So I understand we're now going to be looking for an accountant to come in and try to resolve the issue. Or you believe you have the reports from what I just heard, then you're going to find that out at today's meeting. So there's nothing else, you can return to your office unless someone else has a question.
Madam Chair, just
Or
who's gonna
Scott,
make the
does Scott have
decision?
anything he wants to ask?
Who's making the decision on the outside contractor? Do we know that yet? Who's the one that's gonna drop the hammer on us? Who's the one that inevitably that says
I
hire
would
us?
assume probably
So if I can answer that, Council.
Yes.
Please, please.
At the meeting that we had when they walked out, President Patalis was there as well as, like I said, Councilman Niemeyer. I asked if Scott felt comfortable with taking a leadership role in selection, because selection is an important part, understanding what's needed and what's not. After all, so that's what I asked him. I asked him to make a recommendation to me, and that we would sign a contract, the Board of Commissioners would sign a contract with whatever entity it was based on Scott's recommendation. So like I said, Scott and I have been via email, giving some of these solicitations their background information on what the job might entail and what the job is going to be required of them. And they have yet to produce any solid proposals yet.
Scott, do you have anything you want to add? Any questions, comments?
No, I mean, it's
Okay.
pretty much what Mike just said. We're in the process of interacting with 3 potential accounting firms that are interested in helping the county. They're trying to understand and we're in a triage state. They're trying to understand, what's going on with the patient right now, and then we'll dial in that diagnosis a bit more, and we'll get a scope of work defined and a quote from them.
In that analogy, the horse is not dead.
Yeah.
You still have triage.
Yeah, this one's alive. So that's a positive. Duration time for resolve is to be determined at this point.
And I do firmly believe, and I want to have an answer that also not only gets us to State Board of Accounts returning to audit, but also gets us to the answer, where did it go wrong?
Right.
And I think maybe
Who's
only
accountable?
those individuals who have really no interest in any of the characters, if you will be able to give us that answer,
Madam Chair, and for the record, I don't blame any employees for any of this. This is a leadership issue. Elected officials, hired leadership. It's on the shoulders of those people. Those employees need to be equipped with the tools to do their job and the training properly. So this isn't about the individual employees. They do a good job. They work hard. Okay. I don't want to take anything away from that. But it's as the CEO of a company, when the company goes bad, I can't blame all my drivers. I have to look in the mirror and say, all right, what do I need to do to correct it? What did I do to cause this? So I think that's the accountability that I'm looking for in this. Thank you.
I'd say here, I agree.
I agree. Okay, no further questions. Thank you. Right, moving towards the agenda.
Want to make a motion on number 5?
Yeah.
St. John, yes.
Madam Chair, I move for approval, an appropriation in the county general fund 61190 part-time $13,500, and 63240 telephone, $200 for an appropriation totaling $13,700. And this is for Department 2006, which is St. John Township Assessor.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for an appropriation in the general fund, St. John Township Assessor. Discussion? All in favor, roll call, please.
Ham,
Yeah.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 5-2 absent. Surveyor, Councilman Niemeyer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to make a motion to approve an appropriation, the MS4 Fund 1264, 63190, other professional service, 75,000. The surveyor is here if you have questions.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for appropriation MSS4 fund for the surveyor. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 5-2 absent. 4D court, Councilman Ham.
Madam Chair, I move for approval of an appropriation, child support 4D Fund 8279 for 64410 furniture and fixtures, $5,000.
Second.
Motion's been made and second for appropriation 4D court fund 8297. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 5-2 absent. Councilman Lee is not on the screen, right?
No,
Councilman Lee?
The
No.
caller.
Okay.
Madam Chair.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
It is,
Can you
it is
hear me?
Councilman White.
Oh, okay, great. All right.
Can you
Madam
hear
Chair, I'd
me?
ask that if he'd like to reflect his vote on the last two appropriation
Yes.
votes, that we give him a chance to.
Were you part of, have you been on? Do you want us to include you on the last two votes for the appropriations in those, in the departments?
Yes, I'll go ahead and do that. I've been on about 15, 20 minutes. I've heard a great deal of discussion. I'm not fully, the only thing I agree with Councilman Niemeyer, it's, I guess if we have to find fault, it's our fault. So I will cast an affirmative vote for what is going on.
Okay, so change that to 6-1 absent.
okay, for 5, 6, and 7.
Yes,
Correct.
thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
On LADOS Division 2, Department 4009, I move for approval of creating a new line item for LADOS Division 2 Safe Grant Fund 8398. It's for FICA deduction.
Second.
Well, okay. A motion's been made for creation, a motion's been made and seconded for creation of a new line item. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes.
Ham.
Yeah.
Ham, Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Motion passes 6-1 absent.
I move for approval of an appropriation, LADOS Division 2 Safe Grant Fund 8398, 61190 part-time, $4,000, 61320 FICA deduction, $260, 61360 workman's compensation deduction, $540, and 63190 other professional services, $13,640 for a total appropriation of $18,440.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for an appropriation in the LADOS Grant Fund 8398. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent. Councilman Ham, Councilman
Madam
Niemeyer.
Chair, I move for approval in Department 8003, revised 144 County General Fund, effective July 17th, 2023, 8003-12434, It's an intake probation officer, currently at $63,724. Proposed $38,107 for a difference of a savings of $25,617.
Second, is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? All in favor signify, roll call, please.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes. Motion passes 6-1 absent. Councilman Niemeyer.
Thank you. We have Coroner's Office, 1007. I would make a motion for approval of a transfer from the County General Fund 1001 from 63130 Toxicology Lab, 10,408 and 88 cents to 61100 overtime, $10,000 and 64490 other equipment, $408.88.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for a transfer in the general fund. Discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
We have an appropriation. I'd like to make a motion to approve an appropriation for Lake County Coroner's Reimbursement Grant Fund, 8430-63630, maintenance and service contracts, $2,500.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for an appropriation. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent.
We have an ordinance. I'd like to make a motion to approve the ordinance amending the Lake County part-time employees pay rate ordinance for 2023, ordinance number 1478C on first
Second.
reading.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Motion's been made to suspend the rules. Roll call, please.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 6-1.
I make a motion to adopt on second reading the ordinance amending the Lake County part-time employees pay rate ordinance for 2023, ordinance 1478C.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to amend the part-time pay rate ordinance for 2023.
Quick comment, and that is to, in the identified job descriptions from $16 an hour to $20 an hour. Thank you.
I thought it was adding a position.
Two positions.
Yeah, two positions and then changing the rate of pay.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Roll call, please.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent. Councilman Bilski.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve an appropriation from the Commissioners Department 6002, an appropriation for Herman Lake Sewer User Fees Fund 4356. It's line item 63510, utilities of $100,000 or so. Moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent. Lake County Sheriff. Councilman Niemeyer.
Okay, thank you. We have a grant application and grant approvals, grant oversight committee. Item 1. Lake County Sheriff's Department Drug Task Force, U.S. Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Assistance, 2023 Justice Assistance Grant Direct Application. Is this a public hearing?
Yeah, we have to open it up for public
Okay.
comment.
Yes.
No, it's not a public hearing. It's an opportunity for public comment.
Okay.
There's a legal difference.
No, we just have to open it up for public comment. Jeanette's right.
Yeah.
I thought we had a voice from heaven come with a big no.
She's an angel.
So, Madam Chair, would you care to open for public comment?
And now open public comment for the Lake County Sheriff's JAG grant. Anyone in the audience or on the web want to make comment for or against or?
Madam Chair, if there's no one ready to remonstrate, I make a motion to close the public portion.
Okay, motion's been made to close. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion that, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. 6-1 absent.
I make a motion to approve the 2023 Justice Assistance Grant direct application.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded
Rules.
for the Justice Assistant Grant and further discussion. Roll call, please.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes. Motion passes 6-1 absent.
Okay, item 2 is Lake County Sheriff's Department Drug Task Force, U.S. Department of Justice, Northern District of Indiana, U.S. Attorney's Office, 2022 Project Safe Neighborhoods Grant application. So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Criminal Courts, Councilman Ham.
Move for approval in Department 3002 for a revised 144 out of the general fund effective August 14th of this year. 12428-023 probation officer currently at 52,662, proposed at 38,107 for a difference of a negative 14,555.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for rise 144. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent.
Madam Chair, I move for approval on the Plan Commission Ordinance 2563 Watson Family Trust, William E. Watson, owner, and Brittany M. Liss, petitioner, from July 19, 2023.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent.
Madam Chair, motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
No need to suspend on a plan.
Not on planning commission.
Oh, you don't? Oh, okay, we're good.
Yeah, zone changes.
Oh, just one reading?
Yep.
Yes.
Lake County Prosecutor. Councilman Lindemeyer, would you carry this?
Yes, Madam Chair, for the Prosecutor's Office, revised 144 County General Fund, motion to approve change in 12501-026 deputy, presently at 91,928, proposed 98,050, difference of $6,122. 12501-039 deputy, presently 81,113, proposed $90,298 for a difference of $9,185. 12501-042 deputy, presently $86,520, proposed $97,050 for a difference of $10,530. Total presently is $259,561, proposed $285,398 for a difference of $25,837.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion. I will comment that the prosecutor has agreed that they will be looking for an additional fund to for these costs in 2024. Okay. Roll call, please.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer,
No.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 5 yes, 1 no, and 1 absent. Okay, now we're gonna open up, for public hearing, a petition to vacate Cedar Lake Road, 60-foot right-of-way between parcel 45-16-17-300-024.000-041 and 45-16-17-300-003, .000-41, lying southwest of intersection of 121st Avenue, Franciscan Drive, and Marshall Street. Anyone in the public wish to speak in favor or in opposition? Anyone wish to speak? Anyone wish to speak? Okay, public portion is now closed. Full name here. Ted, you want to handle these for the council or?
This is in that.
This is your district?
Yes, I wanted to ask the attorney if all the legals were in order for the public hearing.
Yes,
Okay.
you advertise it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure we had the record on that. We have an ordinance granting petition to vacate a portion of public way of Cedar Lake Road by Northern Indiana Public Service Company, LLC. So moved to approve.
Motion's been made
Second.
and seconded. Discussion.
One discussion item. I had a conversation this morning with County Highway Engineer Alverson about this particular vacation. There's on the east side of the road, it's owned by NIPSCO. It was County Highway Engineer's recommendation for a 40-foot right-of-way to be dedicated to Lake County. It's owned on the west side of the road by a company named Impact, and it is being pursued, the same 40-foot right-of-way, but the ordinance was crafted to reflect a 50-foot right-of-way, which I don't necessarily think we need to go against the desires and recommendation of the County Highway Commissioner. So I'm not sure how we resolve that within the ordinance. But it says here a petition to vacate a 60-foot right-of-way, and the recommendation of the engineer was 40 feet. And that was in our work session as well, that we discussed that.
Well, it's, I think you might be talking about two different things.
Okay.
The 60-foot right of way is the road that passes through that nobody uses anymore that we're vacating. So we're vacating 60 feet of roadway.
It's 60
Okay, yeah, correct. The vacation is 60 feet.
And that's what's reflected. In the
Okay.
ordinance.
Thank you.
There was some discussion, just to point of order, Madam Chairman, there was some discussion at a study session about possibly making this conditioned on the dedication of the road.
That was my intention, to make a record on that, the dedications. But that was my comments. Thank you.
I'm a little confused now. The vote, and Mr. Mayor, for my benefit to vote on this, I want to support this, but we're amending it with a contingency.
No, it was make a record clear on, so we're vacating a public way for NIPSCO to be able to install there. So that's for the old Angle Road, the road
Right,
now
right,
goes
I'm-
straight and tees with 121st.
I'm familiar.
So we're vacating that portion that the county used to own.
Right.
I wanted to make sure as part of the record that we went back to the study session discussion of what we would be requesting from NIPSCO as a dedication of right-of-way as a part of this consideration is 40 feet based on the county highways engineer of our new road that's been there 15 or 16 years, if you can call it new.
And Ned, there's subsequently another parcel will be impacted by this. And
There are two theories. The council, as you know, passed the transportation plan along with our comprehensive plan. The definitions that are in place right now consider this a secondary arterial where the dedication is going, which requires 100 feet of right of way.
50 feet on each side of the road that's being dedicated. This has nothing to do with the 60 feet that's being dedicated. This has to do with the new Crown Point Cedar Lake Road. And the ordinance that was passed requires a 50-foot dedication. Dwayne uses a different set of criteria to define the roads. He considers this a major collector or minor collector. It only requires a 40 foot. But what's been passed by the council, and I believe what the planning commission's responsibility is to address what's been passed by the council. Currently, it's considered a secondary arterial requiring a 50-foot dedication. I think NIPSCO in their most recent proposal said, yeah, we'll dedicate 50 feet, but we had that was since our discussion in the study session, but whatever you choose to do.
Okay.
Dwayne's recommendation is 40 feet. The ordinance requires 50 feet. It's basically.
Tom, should we amend our ordinance?
No, we need to amend the motion. Like
Right.
this vacation is contingent, and Councilman, you could even just have it say it's contingent on NIPSCO dedicating the roadway. Because that was the only kind of the power that council had over them to make sure they do this dedication, because they're under no obligation to do it. They're just doing it, because they're nice guys. So they agreed to, CDG agreed to have it be contingent on their dedication to that roadway.
I would amend my motion on the first reading of the ordinance granting petition to vacate a portion of public way by Northern Indiana Public Service Company to be contingent upon the dedication of the required right-of-way of the new Cedar Lake Crown Point Road, for lack of a better term.
And does whoever second.
My second is still there.
All right, motion's been made to approve the amended ordinance. Any further discussion?
What's he trying to say? No.
Ray?
Your exact words, because I would probably I can get it typed today.
I wish I knew.
Yeah, it was the condition that NIPSCO.
The contingency is that we would approve the vacation of the right-of-way contingent upon the dedication
Of 60 feet.
of required right-of-way
Required right.
Yeah,
on the new Cedar Lake, or I guess new Cedar Lake Crown Point Road.
That's Dwayne Elverson on there. Dwayne, did you have something? Council said, I think.
Yeah.
He was trying to.
Dwayne?
No, I think you've covered it all.
Okay. All right, we good, Ray? All right,
All right.
roll call, please.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Sia.
Yes, motion passes 6.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded to suspend with the rules. Roll call, please.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Sia.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent.
Make a motion to adopt on second reading the ordinance granting petition to vacate a portion of public way by Northern Indiana Public Service Company, LLC.
Motion has been made and seconded to adopt the ordinance as amended. What's that?
I didn't hear a second.
Oh, was there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Sia.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent. Councilman Lee, I don't know that it has an agenda in front of you. Councilman Lee, do you have an agenda in front of you?
No, Madam Chair. I was going to ask,
I can carry it, Councilman.
Councilman Ham to handle it for me. That's
You want to hear the Dave, or you want to?
Mr. Chair, Madam Chair, I move for approval of a resolution of the Lake County Council regarding an appropriation of the county reserve revenue funds to the city of Gary, Indiana.
Motion's been made.
And-
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion?
Was that seconded by Councilman Lee? I couldn't hear.
Yes.
It was, okay.
Yeah, that was the second, and I was just simply going to give some additional information. The city of Gary is required to do work at the ballpark, and that is what the mayor had asked me to give him the funds to do. And so I will, of course, be voting in the affirmative for his request.
Very good. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Lay.
Yes.
Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Sia.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent. Councilman Niemeyer.
A motion to approve a resolution of Lake County Council requiring that certain townships within Lake County, Indiana shall receive a specified amount of tax revenues distribution pursuant to Indiana Code 6-3.6-6-8 for the year 2024.
Motion's been made
Second.
and seconded.
1 second, we have Hanover Township trustee Kevin Toth with us today. He has been working with a group of township trustees, and this is in relation to the tax revenues that are distributed through Cadget for public safety purposes. Mr. Toth, if you have anything you'd like to say.
On behalf of all the trustees who are on that application, you guys have approved this before. This is money that is greatly needed in our areas for our unincorporated areas for fire and EMS protection, and we appreciate it because we're passed again. It's numerous years and trying to downstate to get it to be permanent. It keeps failing every year, so we keep coming back to you. So we appreciate it if you pass it again.
And the application was due by July 1st. All of it was submitted properly in time, and this resolution, in order for it to be, the funds to be distributed, has to be passed by September 1st.
Okay. Anybody have any comments? Something we have done for several years now, I
Can
think,
I-
since
can
the
I-
adoption. Go ahead.
Can I clarify for the council, though? This is a little bit different than we normally do it. We usually have a reference to the interlocal agreement that sets out percentages. This one does not. But I think that what the hope is the trustees will get together and say, here's the pool of money that we have. Here's distribute it. Kevin, am I misstating that?
Well, the past, actually, they were set up by the council as far as how it was distributed. I had been working with Blanford and had numerous discussions. We were always distributed by population. Because we had a new census number, we have some population, both numbers would have to change if we don't keep it by population. So we have been working on which way to keep this. The state won't help us, they won't allow us to use the formula that they use. So we had to come up with a formula that we could all agree upon or whatever.
And is that proper formula, the population formula, and you want to stick with that formula? Or are you suggesting coming up with a better way to formulate the distribution?
We've had a couple of meetings with the trustees who are on the application. So I got to figure out the population and maybe one other thing.
Okay, cool.
Figure out the best way that we can go forward. So I thought we had time to do that yet, but we need to have that before it passes, or?
No, you do have time to do that.
Would they need to come in front of us then, Randy? They have to come for the appropriation of this money once it's done? Do they come back for the appropriation?
We'll get the pot of money, let them argue.
That's
Right,
that's
exactly.
more of the theory, just so everybody understands it. This has to be passed before September 1st.
Correct.
So the statute actually says to do it based on AV of the townships. So Larry's the expert on this, clearly.
That was part B in the statute, and we're not distributing the funds to the way Part D that alluded to, basing the distribution on the value.
Okay.
We're not using that part of it. We're using C, that provide in emergency personnel and fire. So we've been trying for how many months now to find out, to get population figures for just the unincorporated portion of the townships.
Right.
And keep in mind too, that you got portions of the townships that like Lowell is in Cedar Creek and West Creek. So how do you divide that? The Census Bureau didn't last time. I think you had to hire an accounting firm to present numbers to the group. And then we based it on percentages of the population. I think that's where the rub is coming for the General Assembly to figure out some type of a distribution formula. I worked it on assessed values, and some come out winners, some come out losers, and it very well be that the ones that have the higher or the lower assessed value needed more.
Right.
Yeah,
I was thinking that, I was thinking the same thing. AD value is a terrible way to do it.
So I just want the council to understand, we're doing it a little bit differently this year because we don't have this, the statute says we have to have a specific amount. So the specific amount that we're using is all the money in the CAGIT fund for these particular townships. And then they're gonna talk amongst themselves.
Perfect. I think I trust that the council, after this passes, will come up, and maybe budget time probably, with a number, with a total number, a gross number, and then the division of that, those dollars, maybe they'll have a formula they all agree on, and that'll work itself out in the process. And you usually give it out in March, March 1st of April.
It's as clear as mud, Larry.
Oh, yeah, we really clarified it.
Yep, absolutely.
Larry and I working together on it.
So no specific amount is dedicated within the current ordinance.
Although, I may add,
As
it's in the
or as a
commissioner's budget, it's in the commissioner's department, and they've already submitted appropriations for next year based on the 3%.
Right, okay. Any further discussion? That was, motion was made and seconded, all right.
I would just mention that the statute, everybody says, it says specified throughout the sentence. It's specified. And what this is, the residence recognition is a legal vehicle that allows you to set aside the amount of want to for the right, whatever. Or just personally, in the old ones, the old interlocal agreement was attached to this resolution as an exhibit 2, I think. Okay. We don't want to have what you can do if you want to. Their future is enter into another interlocal agreement based on government criteria. Here, so allows you to, and we make that part of this resolution.
Okay. All right. Roll call, please.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to open up nominations for the Lake County Study Commission of Veterans Affairs.
Motion's been made to open up. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Ham. Any other
Madam Chair.
all in favor? Aye.
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 Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Service Officer Brian Snyder, that's BryanSnyder, to the position.
I move to close nomination.
Second.
Motion's been made to close nominations.
Second.
Seconded. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Nominations are
Madam Chair, I
closed.
don't know if it's required, but I would make a motion to seat Service Officer Brian Snyder to the position.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to seat Mr. Snyder. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Lay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent. Just make sure that Carol gets his address.
I'll make sure. I just, Brian Godey, our service officer, was gonna give us a report also on the number of veterans and processing and everything going on, and I just noticed he walked out. He's not sitting here anymore, so apologize for that.
Lunch.
Lunchtime?
Okay.
Must have been Air Force.
Other citizens appointment, Lake Ridge Protection District. Are we moving forward with that? Was there a recommendation?
Is Tom on the board? He wants to be reappointed? Yes, no, I see. Sorry. Madam Chair, I move to open nominations for the Lake Ridge. Yep. Good. Lake Ridge.
Motion's been made to open nominations for the Lake County Fire Protection District appointment. Yeah, Lake Ridge. Okay.
Madam Chair, I would nominate Tom. I don't know if I'll say this right. Savast, S-V-A-S-T. I nominate, that would be for real.
Any
I'll
other
second
nominations?
that and motion to close nominations.
Second.
Motion is made to close and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to seat Mr. Spast.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded in the seat. In discussion, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-1 absent.
E2.
I'd ask the appointment for county domestic violence be deferred,
September.
postponed.
Yep.
I'll make a motion
September
to
12th.
postpone till September 12th.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to defer. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 6-1.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to open the floor to nominations for the Cedar Lake appointment to the Economic.
Motion's been made and seconded to open nominations for the appointment Economic Development Commission in Cedar Lake. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Madam Chair, I nominate David DeYoung, spelled D-E-J-O-N-G.
Second, motion to close nominations.
Second.
Nominations, motion's been made to close nominations with only one nomination. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Motion to seat.
Motion to seat.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to seat Mr. David DeYoung.
DeYoung, yep.
DeYoung.
Good Dutch name.
DeYoung.
Yeah.
DeYoung. To the Economic Development Commission. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Okay. Interlocal agreements.
Madam Chair, I move for approval to the amendment to the interlocal governmental agreement by and between the town of St. John, Indiana, the town of Schererville, Indiana, and Lake County, Indiana, for the rehabilitation and reconstruction of West 85th Avenue, including a full depth reclamation of existing asphalt, approaches and turn lanes from Alexander Street to Lake Hills Drive.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes. Motion passes 6-1 absent.
Item 2, I'd like to make a motion to approve the interlocal agreement between Fairways Regional Wastewater District and Lake County, Indiana for public improvement costs, incurred by the district in its transition to a conservancy district and future development of public improvements located in Lake County, Indiana.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion. Is that somebody? Okay. Roll call, please.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent.
Madam Chairman, on behalf of Councilman Brown's, on item 16F3, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agreement between the town of New Chicago, Indiana and Lake County, Indiana for any of the following projects: a new town hall, additional base for the fire department, squad car for the police officers, department located in Hobart Township, Lake County, Indiana, requested by Councilman Brown.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Neemeyer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent.
Madam Chair, I move for approval of the joint interlocal agreement between the town of Highland, Indiana and Lake County, Indiana for improvement costs which will be incurred by the town to replace the existing 4-inch water main to 8-inch on Parkway Drive between Lincoln Avenue and Ridge Road, adding fire hydrants and improving water quality and circulation located in North Township, Lake County, Indiana.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Ham,
Yeah.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent. Councilman Niemeyer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was enjoying this too much. I'd like to make a motion to approve joint interlocal agreement between the town of Lowell, Indiana and Lake County, Indiana for the Lowell State Road 2 corridor septic project located in West Creek and Cedar Creek Townships, Lake County, Indiana.
Second.
Motion's been made in second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Lake,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent. Councilman Ham.
Madam Chair, on behalf of myself and Council Lady Sid, I move for approval of a joint interlocal agreement between the city of Hammond, Indiana and Lake County for the construction of the city's new fire station located in North Township, Lake County, Indiana.
Second.
Motion's been made. Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lake,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent.
Madam Chair, I move for approval of a joint interlocal agreement between the town of Munster, Indiana and Lake County, Indiana for improvement costs which will be incurred by the town for rehabilitation and maintenance of the Calumet Avenue Water Tank Maintenance Project located in North Township, Lake County, Indiana.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham,
Yeah.
Lake,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent. Non-binding review. Councilman Ham.
Madam Chair. Number one, I move for, I move to open the review on non-binding review on estimated tax limits, maximum levy and circuit breaker in accordance to 6-1.1-17-3.6.
Second that motion.
Motion's been made to open the review, non-binding review for tax levies, 2024, estimated max, is estimated maximum, right?
Roll call.
Okay. In discussion, and seconded, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lake,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
I'd like to put something into the record. It is Indiana Code 6-1.1-17-3.6. It is county fiscal body will review the levy limits and tax reductions from credits meeting by the county fiscal body. 3.6A. At the first meeting of the county fiscal body in August, today, the county fiscal body shall review the following. Number one, the estimated levy limits provided by the Department of Local Government Finance under IC 6-1.1-18.5-24. Number two, the estimate provided by the Department of DLGF under IC 6-1.1-20.6-11.1 of how each taxing unit's distribution of property taxes will be reduced by credits under IC 6-1.1-20.6. The county fiscal body may request that representatives from the taxing units located within the county attend the meeting described above. C, the county fiscal body must allow a representative of a taxing unit that attends the meeting described above to comment on the taxing unit's proposed budgets, tax levies, and tax rates for the ensuing calendar year. And D, after the county fiscal body has held the meeting required by this section, the county fiscal body may prepare and distribute a written recommendation for taxing units in the county. If the county fiscal body does not prepare a written recommendation, the minutes of the meeting held under this section shall be distributed by the county auditor to all the taxing units in the county after the minutes have been approved by the fiscal body. Just wanted to read that.
Okay.
Now would be appropriate for any taxing unit, Madam Chair, to speak if they were in attendance.
Is there anyone here from any taxing unit that would wish to address the council?
Real quick, doesn't it ask you to confirm that all the
Yeah.
council members have read it?
Yes, that's next.
That's.
Yes,
And you call for a
That is-
remonstration and then
yeah,
it doesn't say, we call for a remonstration and then we should call for the opportunity for each and every council recognition that every councilman has read, reviewed. That's what this is all about. It's just about
Has
review.
each councilman had the opportunity to read the estimates of Exhibit A?
Yes.
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 Yes. Oh, do a roll call.
Yes. Yes.
Hey,
He responded. He said,
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski.
yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes. It's confirmed that those present have read the Exhibit A, the estimates. Now would be the time for any taxing unit to speak. I haven't heard anyone, so we'll move on. Is there anybody in the public who wishes to speak? Please, sir, come forward, state your name.
That's where we're at now. Finally.
My name is Jerry Baffa. I am the president of Sandville Condominiums in Munster, Indiana. I have a letter from the Lake County Health Department saying in 2011 that you wanted to increase the permit for a pool from $750 to $2,180.
Okay, excuse me. I appreciate you wanting to speak, but you're speaking of not on this matter. So we will, at the end of the meeting, we'll address your concern, okay? A public comment time.
This isn't specific to Indiana code.
This is for taxing units to speak on behalf of the upcoming
I thought you
proposed
called
budget.
Yeah,
So it was for any
Public
taxing
comment from
units. Yeah.
You're almost there.
Yeah.
we're almost
sorry.
there. Just a little more wait.
It's like the Army.
Okay.
Hurry up.
Hurry up and wait, man. That's it.
Anybody in the audience that wants to speak on the estimated maximum tax levies for 2024? Okay, hearing none, that portion is closed. Any council members wish to speak on the matter?
I think I've said my piece.
You said your piece?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else?
The last,
Motion to close the review.
I'll make a motion to close review after you've made one last comment for anybody?
Second.
No?
Second.
It's non-binding, so that's my comments.
On the
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to close the review. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Blake.
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Pam.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes. Motion passes 6-1 absent.
Madam Chair, I move to have the auditor directed to distribute to all the taxing units minutes of the review after they have been approved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Pam.
Yes.
Blake.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes.
That's all falls under here. And I will confirm.
All right, motion passes 6-1.
Madam Chair, can I ask for two opinions? Mr. O'Donnell, Mr. Zarmak, everything appropriate in your eye?
I think you made it clear that we were talking about both maximum levies and circuit breakers.
That is correct.
that Both parts.
That's what Councilman Bilski and I were just talking
I
about.
wanted some clarity to make
Which all
sure.
falls under the same code.
Yes, okay,
It's good.
Okay,
very good.
thank you.
Be sure the minutes reflect that. Okay, discussion of the 2024 public budget presentations, workshops, and reading schedule.
Get the schedule already? Yes,
The
schedule has been emailed to
schedule's been emailed to who?
all of us.
I didn't see a new schedule.
Well, there was a scheduled and there was an amended schedule.
Oh.
I'm not sure which one's it.
Scott, have we,
Carol had sent that email quite some time ago about the schedule of
I
budget.
thought what she sent was the budget committee.
No,
She
No.
sent the,
budget presentations are September 5th. The presentation, September 5th, 10 a.m.
I need would anybody else like a hard copy of that schedule? Because I'm going to get one.
Yes, yes. have-
Anybody else in the room while I'm
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
it?
please, I just have it on.
Dan, you got one? Anybody else?
Yeah, Pete, Randy.
I thought we were taking action to amend either a first reading date. We were gonna get clarification on the time schedule for third reading, second reading.
Looking at the agenda, Madam Chair, it's discussion on it. I think we're just put our thoughts together and see what our schedules allow me. Up to you.
I put a bunch of dates on the calendar.
Wait till Ted's over. We're gonna have to meet Pete.
I gotta, let me see here, I'm looking on here. July 18th was the last one that was sent from Carol. It shows Tuesday, September 5th.
I thought you meant recently.
Yeah, of the revised, there's two emails out, one was revised, like Councilman Ham said.
I didn't see that.
I'm hit and miss, I get T-Mobile, and biggest mistake I ever made.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what you get for trying to save money. They gave a good veterans discount, but it's not a discount if you can't use the product.
Yeah, my husband used to have that service and he was like, your customer is not available to take calls. Probably loved it.
I put up dates.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Okay, so this is the revised one. Do we need to adopt this or anything? No.
It's the same one that was emailed to us.
We need to advertise it, so do we need a motion to approve can't hurt, right?
Can't hurt.
Wait,
make a motion.
this is the original one.
No, this is the revised one I was told, right?
Yes, July 18th.
Oh, it's the revised one?
Yeah.
When was second reading set for originally?
these dates are, I don't know what was revised, but these are the originally been provided.
Yeah, these are the original dates.
This thing was revised because of the AIC comment.
I don't think we've revised it yet.
No, we have not.
I think we discussed revision, but we
No, I
haven't
think it
decided.
didn't remove the ones on the 25th or the 29th.
Right.
That was because of the stuff going on in the auditor's department and with the numbers in the State Board of Accounts. The AIC was addressed and those are reflected in these dates. But we still don't, it was the discussion, I believe, and now correct me if I'm wrong, but the discussion was regarding the issue with the State Board of Account, the auditor and treasurer and everything we had the hearing on, or the discussions on earlier. And I thought that was the question on whether or not we need to push back the first and second reading. And if so, we need to reflect that now and make all the dates correspond because you have to, after you have so many dates after the first reading to hit, we have a deadline. And the mention was to do it on the exact deadline, which is probably a bad idea. It's better to be 2 weeks ahead.
Maybe.
And so I'm not in favor of doing it on the last day of on the deadline itself. I won't support.
Ray?
I looked, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ray had
The
his hand
most
up.
important thing is, I would not schedule the second reading on the last day. Let's do.
That's what Ted was saying.
You guys think-
And that's kind of where I thought that's what and it was mentioned that we had a discussion about this agenda and about changing it. I thought we were going to keep it and then if we just have to make those dates, that's it.
It's not.
Well, we
We have
can-
the second reading scheduled on this for October 17th. That gives us a 2-week cushion.
Right, that's good.
We're good.
Also, I mean, so that.
Are we good? Are we gonna have the information we need?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Second reading, we don't even know.
We won't have it.
We-
I guarantee we won't have it.
yeah, these dates don't matter if we don't have them.
Absolutely.
We can't prepare a
Okay,
budget, these dates
so
don't
you're
matter.
fine with leaving the dates as is?
Yeah, I think we
Because-
need to know more information. I mean, the only thing we could, by moving them to the 30, moving the second reading to the 31st.
The 24th or,
Well, I'm just saying, the second reading's on the 17th of October. If we moved it to the 31st, which I understand the risks associated with that. But those risks associated with that are the reason why we move it to the 31st, meaning we have issues, acknowledgement of issues right now that we don't have a clean cash balance to prepare a budget. So the only reason why we would suggest moving it to the 21st is to provide more time for us to get those clean numbers to not prepare a budget. So it's fine leaving it as is. We haven't advertised this, at least with the gateway yet. We can leave it for the 17th, and I think if we need to move the 17th to the 31st, I think we could still do that. And just
That's what my question, thank you, John.
Yeah, we just have to give 10 days notice.
Yep.
And it has to be loaded to Gateway and in the auditor's office for review by taxpayers.
Right.
10 days prior and any advertising.
So Scott, my thought is let's approve this the way it is.
Yep.
If we need to, to re-advertise and postpone the second reading to the 31st, we can do it and prior to that date of the second reading. So
yes,
I think it's safer, in my opinion, just a safety net by doing it this way, but.
and I'm meeting with the DLGF on Thursday. So that I've been keeping them in the loop along the way. So maybe I'll have some suggestions from them or some guidance.
Right.
Yeah, I've proposed some ideas to them in terms of how can we get this done given the.
They seem somewhat receptive to some of the ideas.
No, they didn't even opinion one way or another. They said they were gonna have meetings internally and see what we can do. So they weren't opposed to any of them. It's kind of a unique situation.
so there is no specified amount of time between the first reading and second reading. And we can
Do it on the same day. You can't
just 10 days notice to remove the second reading.
And also, all these workshops, these are special meetings, and they're advertised by the.
Oh, thanks.
They're special meetings. One thing I want to discuss, maybe not about the budget. Typically, and this has happened where a municipality didn't make the deadline, or there was something wrong with the way they did the budget. And so after the 31st, they had no budget for next year. What the state does is give you, when you pass something, okay, and they'll give you the levy, they're going to give you the levy that you're supposed to get. What you can do, especially the county council, as Lake County and St. Joe, is you can then bill in the budget spot with the amount of money that you want to do it. You basically you build a new budget in February, March, so that
Of next year.
Yeah, because it's from what I heard today, it's not likely you're gonna hear numbers by the 31st of October, so you gotta pass something.
Right.
And then you're gonna spend a month in February here making motions and just remember that since 2002, you can, on your own, add position or reduce on your own. You should have the public officials come in and do that. But you can move that budget totally upside down, whatever you want to do.
And if no budgets passed by November 1st, it's this year's budget. It's just the.
Yes.
The DLGF will just revert us back to 2023.
So whatever happens with the issues downstairs, next Andy, by February, maybe in February, have the budget, you would want what you want.
Okay, anyone else have anything? Now, public comment. Oh, that gentleman leave?
No, he's right there. For the record, sir, if you would just say your name and address for in the microphone so we can keep it in our minutes.
My name is Jerry Baff. I live at 910 Ridge Road in Munster, Indiana. I'm also the president of our Sando condominiums. I have a letter here from the Lake County Health Department saying that they're going to raise the pool fees from $750 to $2,180. And it says in here for public swimming pools. I can assure you, our swimming pool is not public. It is an enclosed swimming pool. And this has been since 2012. Not only that, this year they also includes the same fee of $2,180 for a hot tub we have, which probably has less than 1% of the water of our swimming pool.
I could ask one pause, Ray. I thought before that they could raise a rate, that they had to have a study that the rates had to be approved.
It's private though.
No, I'm talking about the health department. Don't they have to have justification? Why you're saying that our Lake County Health Department
Right.
is doubling the cost of the,
More than double.
more than doubling the cost of these fees?
Almost
It just never
tripled.
came in front of us.
Almost tripled, plus they added the hot tub.
You're saying 12 years ago they did this.
Well, this was from 2011, July of 2011, and it began in 2012.
It depends.
And it also says that it's for public swimming pools. What is a public swimming pool? Your backyard? That's not a public swimming pool. Ours is an enclosed structure. It's 24/7.
I don't know if it's
365 days a year.
Classified, and Ned's not here, but a condo I would consider multifamily housing. It's multifamily housing. I live in a townhouse and I would consider that multifamily housing as well.
Right.
So I would say that takes it and makes that, it's not privately to just.
No. If you have one in a home, and you invite your neighbor or a relative over to swim, then it becomes public, right?
No.
No.
It's a single family house, you're saying.
What's the difference?
You've got a communal use of a facility that they want to monitor.
It's like South Lake Mall can kick you off of their property for trespassing, even though it's a public place, the public is invited in, but it's not a public establishment. And I think that's what the argument you're making is it's not open to the general public.
In a fast food chain or restaurant, they have a public
I
restaurant.
don't think you're listening. It's not open to the general public, right?
Correct.
Yes, you have to be a resident there. to use
Correct.
it.
An owner.
Private to just the residency is the argument.
One of the owners of the condo.
Right. They shouldn't have to pay that because it's not open to the
I
public.
just checked with Mr. Google. Public pool means any pool other than those pools defined as a semi-public pool, which is intended to be used for swimming or bathing and is operated by a concessionaire, lessee, operator, licensee, regardless of whether a fee is charged for use. Nothing in this article should be construed as applying to any pool construction at a 1 or 2 family dwelling and maintained by an individual for the sole use of the household and house guests. So a public pool is any pool that's defined as other than a semi-public pool.
I have a quick question to add to your comment. Pete, is the health department yours? I didn't know.
I'd have to look at what that is.
I would suggest that we find out from Nick and from Dr. B whether or not, why are the fees, to
From 750 to 2180 now,
But
plus
this was in 2011?
this was from, dated 2011,
Okay,
July
so
8th.
you've been paying the 2180.
Correct.
So
Plus, this year we had to pay another 2180 for the hot tub.
11, have you approached, this is the first time you've approached this body. Have you been to a health department board meeting or have you written letters,
Well, I'm the new president here. I'm the new president of the association.
Oh, you're the new president, so
Fairly new,
you came upon this and, okay.
Was this paid in the past?
I think they are.
Yes, it was 750 in the past, but it also says here in an effort to improve county finances, the 2009 county council hired an independent agency to collect more money. That's what it says. So they raised from 750 to 2150. Now we're being also paid for another hot tub of 20. We're paying 4360 for our use of a private, which is very difficult to use because we have a very sophisticated key entry system. It is not open to the public.
Okay, let me hear what the attorney has to say.
Is there a statutory charge? Is it in Indiana code Because if.
Sir, can you speak up
Yeah.
or into the microphone?
Is the fee statutory, which means there's an Indiana statute that sets the fee, and we would not have any control over it.
It says, look, it's from the Health Department of Lake County as well as from the county council.
Okay, that doesn't answer my question, but if it's a statutory fee, we don't give it, we're not required to then adopt an ordinance.
Right,
You know,
state does it.
Well, it could be a state, it could be a statutory fee, or the statute allows the health department to set it without fiscal approval or with the fiscal approval. That's number one. Number two, my best legal guess is that a pool that's part of a HOA, it's HOA fund, is not a public pool.
What I would ask, Madam Chair, if possible, so this gentleman took the time to come up here. If you could leave us with your contact information, I would ask that this body would have our attorney look into it, respond, and give you a written response back, what's going on, where we're at with this. And we meet every month up here on, you know, Thursdays and Tuesdays, first Thursday followed by the second Tuesday. And the chairman will be here for that committee that can speak on that behalf. We can have the doctors in here. We can ask someone to show up. We can put it on the agenda now to discuss the fee structure, so you could have that opportunity. And we could find out, as the attorney said, is this statutory, meaning that we don't have to create an indebted. The state says these are mandated. We're merely an arm at some point of state government. So if the state, it's a statutory issue, passes it, says these increases and this money will be here. We don't create the ordinance to do it. It comes to us because we are the fiscal legislative body, but it's mandated and maintained by the state. But that is pretty much what the attorney was saying. So if you would like, if you have a business card or a contact, we can give that to our attorney. We can research it, give a written response back to you based on this issue, and hopefully move forward. I think it seems a little huge, but around 2009, was that around frozen levy time?
Yeah.
So that would make sense why it would justify at frozen levy time, because when you see that increase, and I know it doesn't, there was zero increase when the average at that time was around 3%. So for how many years we had a zero increase to the overall levy and frozen levy, which is in return a huge savings to all taxpayers and homeowners. They didn't pay that increase. Every other community, every other county in the state taxed a 3% increase.
I have a question. How many homeowners in your?
There's 39 units,
Okay.
39 units. Plus, again, like I said, we're also being charged for that hot tub, same price. So that's 40.
Since 2011?
Pardon me?
Since 2011?
No, they just started it this year.
But then you just built
Started this year.
No, it's been there all along.
Oh,
Do they come out and check the water and stuff?
Every week they come out on a Tuesday morning to check a sample of the water and we bring it back to where,
Doing their
To
job.
help.
yes,
and if it's private, they don't come out and check my buddy's pool at his house.
right.
Well, it's called semi.
Well, yeah, your buddy's pool is semi-private, that's.
You know, like the
Private.
Well,
like
one
the
to two
splash
family-
parks or
one to two
Munster
family
pool, I
unit
would consider
looks
public,
different.
but not a private.
So any apartment complex, you're no different than an apartment.
Well, there's an
They're saying.
apartment complex or condo on Holman Avenue, right off of Fran Lynn, that has an outdoor pool. Now, I would consider that public because somebody could flip the fence real easy to go swimming in there. You can't get into our building. We have a key that only a special locksmith can make.
It seems expensive, seems excessive, but I'd like to hear from the health department to know
Okay.
what it costs
I'll
us to perform those tests. Because I'd have no problem, if by law, we can say we don't have to test your pool, you're on your own, you figure it out. If people get E. coli, then we just quit doing it.
Right, we don't have to do it.
We don't have to do it. Are we bound by law to test this association?
You
pool?
might be, but I think.
Yeah, we
if-
might be.
If you're using
think so.
county services to help you out, make your pool clean and safe, you're gonna get a charge for that.
Yeah, well, we do our own testing as well as what you allow the county
We
health
need that
department to
written
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know all the answers, but I think we need to find out what we're doing and why, and if we have to.
Can I make a suggestion too?
Sure.
Maybe open the meetings up to the public that doesn't pertain to what's on the agenda, so I don't have to sit here.
Oh, you mean you're at the beginning of the meeting?
Yes.
We have talked about that before.
Anything.
You know, no, I'm talking about started at the beginning, that's
Yeah,
not
saying have public
pertaining
comment
to
at
the
beginning.
agenda. So if you want to talk about some on the
But
agenda.
we get complaints from, I'll be honest with you, if you would have stood up and said, hey, look, I've got somewhere to be, can you please move me? I want to do a public portion, I have a question and concern with the health department. We could have addressed it, but if I do that and I bump and move the scale, we have to have some sense of a semblance of order.
I would have done
Then
that.
every judge in the world comes in here and they say, okay, we gotta go to the front, we have to go, then I got the treasurer saying, well, why did I get put back 10 people?
The judges are.
But any citizen comes in here and asks to be heard because they have an appointment, we have to consider it.
But we did enjoy having you here, wouldn't we?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And appreciate your patience because you're very patient.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, it's been something, as all our expenses are going up and up, you know, it's, we need to look at every little bit. Because we've had 3 major special assessments in my building, between an elevator, a chiller, and downspouts, and, you know, we spent about almost $500,000 improving the condo. And then when you're getting gouged, in my opinion, especially for 2 items, not just one, from $750 to $2,180 is, I think, an excessive amount of money to be charged. So
Thank
I
you, sir.
appreciate for your
Thank
time.
you.
No, thank
Thank
you.
you. Okay, just so clear, everybody's saying,
Yes.
these are the dates for the budget.
Yes, we're not,
20.
do we need to adopt it? I don't think so.
No, as long as, but they should be advertised.
Yeah, they're gonna be out. Okay, any council person have anything?
I have one thing.
Yes.
Yesterday, it was brought to my attention that former Gary Police Chief and Chairman of the Gary Republican Organization, Doug Wright, passed away. And so I wanted to just offer up a little memorial of Chief Wright and his service to his community. Guy that just absolutely was passionate about Gary, and I really enjoyed working with him on local political matters, and he will be greatly missed. So rest in peace, Wright.
Condolences to the family.
Did you guys want to talk?
They were here for Lake Bridge.
Oh.
Okay, anyone else? Any other council member? Motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
Second it? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-1. Thank you.